I just knew that I wanted to go into that birthing room and know that I did everything possible that I could do to be ready. And I was hella confident that I did. So that's why it was okay. You know, it's like, I know I did everything. There's that one thing that I dropped the ball where I was like, oh, I wish I did that a little better, or I should have done that. Nope. I knew I did everything. Long story short, I mean, long story. Sorry, you're going to miss that Titanic movie. But we went in for our induction on a Sunday night, and here comes Thursday, and we're still at the hospital. It was definitely an interesting journey for those 4 days. Nothing like, it was a great experience. Let me tell you. I mean, it might have seemed like 4 days, that's crazy. Like, it wasn't in the way that it's like, it just was a lot of waiting, you know, them trying to induce, and my body just was like, nah, not yet, you know, and them and the doctors wanting to be like, well, let's do this and that, and me being like, nah, not yet. Like, I'm not gonna let you do that. I really love talking back to doctors. I have a thing with authority, so I love talking back, right? It's like, it's my fun. So it was really fun to kind of do that. We had great nurses throughout the 4 days. It started with like, the nurses just got better and better. Like, it's like the nurses passed along the news about us. So every nurse was very like all about us. Like, we had like our birth plan everywhere. They had written notes eventually outside our door about what to say and not to say about it. Like, they had everything. Like, we had our own setup with like pictures and things I wanted like in the room, and we decorated with affirmations, and like everyone that came in the room was just like, we'd never seen anyone do this here. Like, they were just, this is beautiful, right? And it was like, it was a long 4 days, but it was just waiting. It was waiting. It wasn't until like game time came, you know. It's like game time finally came on about Thursday morning, when it was like, oh, I gotta take a shit. And of course, that's my baby. Because that's what it legit feels like. It legit feels like that, you know? It's like, my body was so tired by the time Thursday came from just, I was a badass bee. Let me just tell you, like, through contractions and stuff, you do your breath work, you're going to be completely fine. Like I said, I used to be nervous of needles and things like this. Pro breath work is like magic. Practice it. That's all you got to do. Like, that got me through any waves and surges I had. And I had some for 9 hours at some point, you know, and I'm just like, I want to breathe that out. And I did, you know, I did. And it was okay. It was okay. By the time it was like game time for the baby to come out, we had our doula on Zoom. So Tanisha had the awesome view of my legs open. And she was great being there. Like, she was fantastic being there for Jess during all those 4 days, because you could imagine whatever's going on in 4 days, right? But like, she was great support system for Jess, who, like, I was off hands of any social media. I didn't want to talk to anybody, so like, Jess handled everything with everybody. Because I'm like in my zone, right? I'm like rocking out my zone to my music, or bouncing on my ball, or whatever I'm doing, right? And Jess is there giving me awesome massages and rub downs, and making me feel so wonderful during intense moments, you know, like, oh, your partner's touch is just like, it's beautiful. And it is like a feeling that is just like so comforting. It's so comforting and safe. So
lots of practice.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when she touches me. But like she was just such the other part of it. Like, this was our thing together. Like, yeah, okay, I got the baby out, but like, man, you're such the important role. Like, there's no way I could have imagined doing that without her. So anyways, birth came, legs up, you know, like, I knew what position I wanted to be in, you know. In my birth plan, it was like, I'm free to position any way I want. Everyone knew we were going to do whatever we wanted to do. Like, that was like, it was quiet in the room. Like, lights were dim. Everyone knew we were going to do how we wanted it to do. You know, it was the only necessary people in there that we wanted. And we did. I knew what I wanted to do. And like, we're just waiting for the baby. I wanted to wait for the baby to drop down. And we just kind of sat there talking shop, talking with Tanisha, joking around. I'm cracking jokes.
I'm like low key, I'm like sitting, like standing here, and I'm like, she's just sitting here. Does she want a beer? Like, she's so comfortable joking around, talking. And meanwhile, I'm like having flashbacks of my own birth experience. And this whole experience too helped me process my trauma. And that was very transformative. Yeah. So it was just, watching and being a part of it, and, just being like, God, she's so calm. What is going on? This is incredible. I'm so happy to be experiencing all of this. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I did want a beer. I did. I was just had margaritas on the mind, honestly. But yeah, I mean, that's how it was. Like, towards the end, it was like us just waiting for him to drop down, and breathing it out, getting him down there. And then when it felt like, okay, it's time, it was just breathe him out. And that's what I did. And it just seemed to go so fast. Like, it was definitely like less than an hour.
Yeah.
It
was.
I just was like, okay, here I go. And it was just done so fast. It was like, oh, we're having fun, we're joking around, oh, it's almost time, yay. And then like, okay, let me chill right here and do some breathing, and then, oh, here's the baby. And I was like, wow, this was like, what was I ever afraid of, right? But I know in reality it's because of all the prep I had, right? Like, everything I surrounded myself with. Even with 4 days of induction, I'm still a badass, because I was just like, yeah, okay, here's the baby, like, and here he is. And perfectly healthy baby, everything went great. Like, we were just so happy to get out of the damn labor room finally and move into the recovery room. We're like, yay, we're gonna change scenery. We are so excited. But yeah, that was how the birthing experience went. That it was just fun, chill, loving, and like no sense of any sort of like nervousness or anything. It was just like, I just kept thinking in my mind, like, my body's gonna do what it's supposed to do, because that's what you guys tell us, right? It's like, that's what happens. That's what happens. It's like, you just listen to it. Like, you let him do what he's gonna do. He's already probably mad I made him have to come out early, but he just made me wait 4 more days. And he's like, okay, here you go. And I'm like, I'm sorry, it was beyond my control, but I'm glad you finally decided, all right, I'll come out. But yeah, it was really awesome. It was beautiful, and it's just really cool to watch her cry and me be like, whoa, I made a human! Holy crap! This is mind-blowing. No one ever would have thought I would have a baby, ever. My parents were like, what? Like, it was just like, I just was not the person that would be able to handle it. But, I handled it like a boss, and it's just so awesome to know we had complete control over the whole situation, even when like a giant wrench was thrown in it. Right? We still are like, well, we're going to grab control of where we can, and we're holding on. And like, go ahead, you can try to pull whatever way you want to, but that's not going to happen. And he came out when he was supposed to. So that's how that went. Induction classes. There was like such a long segment from Induction 101, was just like multiple videos for us. And it came perfect timing. When I found out that I had to get induced was the induction lessons week, and I was just delved into that. It provided so much information from all the different types of medications that they would be talking about in the hospital. Very good details about it. So I actually know what is going in my body and what it does. Pretty much everything that was in Induction 101 is what we did at the hospital. Yep. So the entire list, pretty much. And we knew everything about it. And we were pretty much packed full of info from taking this class. And it was awesome, because it was not just the class, but also Tanisha provided us with very similar information. And it was double whammy. We knew everything about every medication now. So it was really cool. Yeah. We had started our induction on Sunday night. Then Monday came, and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. And along the way, we tried every single pretty much tool they had, from Cervidil, we did Foley bulb, we did all of them. Another one was in there too. You know, my body just wasn't down for it. Ended up being on Pitocin multiple times. We had to start over from the beginning at one point, probably on a Tuesday, to start it all over again. So we went through it all, started over, went through it all again. So we were we're very familiar with that stuff. But one thing, we definitely didn't want to feel rushed about it. We wanted it to take their time, you know, when they're like, do you want to just keep pumping more into you, or do you want to just start over? And it's like, well, obviously my cervix doesn't care what you're doing, so start over, because it's not open. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It's not ripening. It's not down with the induction medicine. So it's like, we should start over instead of trying to force you to have a baby. Because all they want to do is like break your water and do these things. I can't tell you how many times the doctors came in to try to tell me this when my cervix is like not anywhere near ready. And I was just like, nope. Almost every single doctor and shift change we got, a doctor would try to convince me to do that. And it was not going to happen. And my water broke naturally while I was bouncing on a ball, while my wife was rubbing my back and I was listening to a song. So, in your face, doctors, in your face. Well, in the end of everything, out of the entire experience, it was all beautiful from start to end. Long, even if it was long, and all the things that happened in between, it was just still beautiful and wonderful and brought us closer together, as if that was possible. Like, I'm just like, she's such an amazing woman, and she just was that for me, as she is every day. But it was a great experience. It was something that made me feel so empowered. It made me, I feel like I could do anything I will ever set my mind to, because I did this thing. And it's not just the birth part, it's all that stuff that happens in between, and you still are on it like that. Like, it was great to be so, like, I was so aware of everything going on the entire time of my birth. There was not a moment I was out of anything. Like, I was still doing what I'm doing right now, talking to you. I was very aware, and it just is like, yeah, right? You just feel so, like, we got the power back that, like, they might have taken away from you when you gave birth, right? And it was like, no, we're not gonna let you do that. And I hope that, you know, this experience will teach them something, right? Like, that you should let people do this and let them go their own path if they want to. Like, at the end, when we got a card from Mary Birch, right? When you give birth, they'll send you a card in the mail, like, oh, thank you for delivering, blah, blah, blah. But we got like legit nurses writing us giant, like, your experience,
paragraphs.
Yeah, was the most wonderful thing I've ever like, your souls are so, like, we had like legit paragraphs from nurses that, like, it was such a thing for them to see. So it was like, cool, we like changed their perspective on it too. That's amazing, right? So yeah,
It was a transformative experience for everyone who was involved. And like, just as a last piece with the Induction 101 class, like, it felt like a lot of information, and it was like, oh my gosh, but we used all of that information, and we were so well informed to make decisions that would benefit the experience. So
yeah,
that was very empowering.
Yeah. Definitely, all couples out there, please do your homework. That's one thing I could say. If you're taking the hypnobirthing classes, like, definitely, like, do the homework. I mean, you know, it's school, I get it. Sometimes you're like kind of whim through it. It's really so much information and helpful to actually do the homework, though. It's like, why not take advantage of it? You're in the class, right? It's not just all the class. It's like the outside work too is what really counts as well. Because when you do the combination of it, it's like, it's going to make magic happen. It's going to complete the whole picture for you. So I say, do the homework, go in class. They're so great in class, like, and everything's so interactive, and you get to ask so many questions. It's so helpful. Read books. Like I said, Labor Like a Goddess was just amazing. Amazing. And use resources too. Like, we used a lot of the resources that, you know, the Birth Education Center provided. Like, that's how we found our doula. In the doula search, it was like, interview doulas, interview different ones for sure, so you get a feel who's gonna vibe with you. Tanisha's she's a girl. We vibed, but you'll get that feeling because those are the people that are going to be there with you. And she provided us so much extra information. So it's like we're getting all this info from all different sides. So definitely take advantage of resources and do homework, kids. What do you suggest?
I mean, I think all the stuff that, Marlene just said, but a really big thing is just like building up confidence. This is going to be a different experience for every single person, and you and your partner are going to be having two different experiences. And I know, like, for me in the beginning, I was like, okay, for her birth experience, no, it's our birth experience. She's the birthing person. I'm the partner. I am the divine masculine here. And I need to make it a point to be there to support her, in every way that she needs, and also to know how I need to be supported. So it's a team effort. Learn how to advocate for yourself. I know that I am confident as F on any given day, and I can advocate for people, but I need to also know how to advocate for myself because I'm in the room with her, so just learn how to understand and identify where your confidence is. And if you're not sure, practice it. Look in a mirror and give yourself a self-talk. Like I told Marlene afterwards, obviously, but during the experience, when there were moments where I felt really overwhelmed, I went to the bathroom because it was right there, and I looked in the mirror and I was like, all right, listen, Jess, get it together. You got this. Marlene needs you. Yes, she is laboring right now, and it's hard, and it's making your boobs hurt because you already had a child beforehand and hormones are weird for you, but you need to, get it together. Take a few breaths and then go back into the room. And she didn't even know I had that because she didn't need to know. So, do whatever it is that you need to prep your own confidence because, you are amazing. You're a badass and you just need to find it.
And I'm just like, damn, my woman confident, right? Sad enough she's doing that.